I'm glad you brought up Richard Dawkins, because I think we were discussing this before the podcast, but Richard Dawkins, and I think you mentioned another atheist, has said that they identify as cultural Christians. Why do you think that is? Like, why do you think atheists are starting to say that have gone against religion all their life? They say, firmly disagree with Islam, I firmly disagree, but Christianity, I would call myself a cultural Christian.
They're starting to realize that history is true. And so even though Richard Dawkins, he was pushed last week also on, so you don't believe in free will, you don't believe in consciousness, or you don't know what that is, you don't believe in any of these big things that clearly fit our experience, you just believe in science. His answer to that was, he was embarrassed, but he said yes. He was totally embarrassed, and the conversation just ended. And so I believe even the Dawkins, with him saying I'm a cultural Christian, is starting to understand, no, it's not all just science. How I live ethically tattles what I truly potentially believe, or at least the culture that I'm swimming in. So the goldfish that's swimming next to the other goldfish and asks what is water isn't aware yet of what they're swimming in. And that's what I believe the typical person from the UK or anywhere in the West is starting to realize. You know what? Judeo-Christian values are at the center of this, not Greek values, because a lot of people try and get out from it again, from the saying, oh no, it was the Greeks that did it. Okay, the Greeks, you look at Plato and Aristotle and others, they were racist, had slaves, and did not believe in any type of, especially sacrifice for the other. No, it was human rights is based out of the Christian faith. Sacrifice, love, altruism, compassion. A lot of Christian countries have banned, for example, same-sex marriages. Like, you can't. Yes. Yeah. So that's a different conversation. Yeah. Well, then why would Dawkins and all these guys still call themselves cultural Christians? Yeah. They saw that. I guess they don't have a big issue with it, even though they obviously are pro-gay marriage. I think they're talking beyond that, saying, though, overall, how we function as a society is not based out of the Nietzschean consistent ways of looking at things like evolution or contract theory or Platonism. No, it's out of Christianity. And they hate it, but they have to admit it. So I believe that's why, even though there's Christian nationalism, even though Christianity is so closely wedded to far right, alt-right kind of things, fascinating how they still say this. They have to admit it. And I think it's because there's so many, like we were talking about, big atheist historians who are completely celebrated by so many in academia, who are writing the historical accounts of the Judeo-Christian faith that directly influenced those who wrote the Declaration of Independence. And now what people are doing is based off of what he was saying as well. We think we're all good. An atheist recently said, all my kids are perfect. They have never sinned. And I thought he was kidding. He was dead serious. Oh, he was being serious. So it's humanism that's coming out and saying, it's just me. I'm all good. I'm great. And what humanism, though, is also living off of is your truth is your truth. I'm going to respect you. I would never step on your freedom. So much of that is just living off the fumes of the Christian faith. So again, the Tom Hollands and all these big authors are saying, we got to wake up and realize this. And so even Jordan Peterson, I'm not a Christian, but I am a Christian. So I don't believe in the resurrection, oftentimes what they mean. And I don't believe in the supernatural, but I know everything I'm living off of in terms of values and ethics. Living off the values of that. Exactly. Yeah.